boys have gotten the herpes virus after they got circumcised. Now authorities, including the health department, are investigating this case. Now, they were circumcised by an Orthodox Jewish family. It was part of their tradition. And part of the problem is after the circumcision took place, they applied something known as direct oral suction.
Metzitzah b'peh is a practice that Orthodox Jews do when they circumcise baby boys. After they cut off the foreskin, the moil, the circumciser, sucks the blood from the penis to sort of clean the wound. This practice really shocks people when they first hear about it, but it's a rigorously defended practice amongst Orthodox Jews.
Are you saying to me that you can put a kid's cut dick in your mouth and it not be illegal?
What's it? That is outrageous, isn't it?
It's fucking outrageous.
Two infant boys.
Shalom. Kal Halayim La, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles, the elders of Great Millstone as GMS. Peace and blessing to the Akim and a few Akwat across the four winds. This is your brother Batamayim from Great Millstone Houston coming to you with a quick lesson. I saw this video on Instagram, so he sparked my spirit to want to do a lesson on it. I just want to bring out a few precepts on, these, I'll just say rabbis, these that act like they're following the scriptures, but they're really not. All they do is lie, steal, sing it to the spirit world. They're the synagogue of Satan, ultimately, and that's what they meet at in their synagogues. They just practice in witchcraft. But the last portion of the video is actually pretty funny, though. But hey, it's not funny for a man to put his mouth, on a kid's, genitals. That's nowhere in the scriptures. So I don't know where they getting this stuff from. What they follow has nothing to do with the scriptures. That's how you can tell, that they're not the holy people. But first precept I have is Revelation chapter 2, verse 9. Ultimately, this was talking about, the real Hebrew Israelites, which you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. But now you have those who wish that they are the chosen, who have a Balfour Declaration to get into that land, which is our holy land. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And if your forefathers, go back to the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the 12 tribes of Israel, and you look like the other heathen nations, because it is based on your father, Numbers 1 and 18, then you are an Israelite if your spirit resonates with this. But Revelation 2 and 9, I know thy works and tribulation and poverty. These people, they don't have any poverty. They don't go through tribulations. They try to make up their own false narratives, like when they did for the, I'll just say during Hitler's time. But they run TV, music, media, so they're definitely not in poverty, especially in Hollywood itself. All of that is going through witchcraft. But thou art rich. And this is really talking about the Israelites. We're rich in faith. That's our true riches, having the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of these scriptures. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. So back then they were acting, you had the Israelites acting like, their father the devil. But now you do have the wicked, which practice witchcraft under Satan. That's the ones that have taken our identity. And when Yahweh send Yahweh Shah back, all of that's gonna be restored. Our holy land, all the way up to our practices, because we're not gonna be doing anything like this. Because we know in the law, they always talk about how they follow the law, but they have kosher pig and kosher cigarettes. That's not a part of our heritage. We don't do that. But Deuteronomy chapter 12, verse 23, only be sure that thou eat not the blood, for the blood is the life, and thou mayest not eat the life with mayest not eat the life with the flesh. Yeah, so you're not supposed to eat food that's, medium rare and rare, like these so-called people do. These so-called chosen people, the self-proclaimed white man, Esau Edom, which is the wicked. But they're tasting the blood. You're not supposed to taste the blood even after a circumcision. There's other procedures and things that you can do to stop the blood after you cut it. You're definitely not supposed to put your mouth on a as a man, another man's, even if it's a young boy, on his genitals. That's not what we do. Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus chapter 10 verse 1. A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. You are well ordered when you follow the law, statutes, and commandments, because you're under this pure word. You know, the law, statutes, and commandments are holy. They're pure. They're supposed to separate us. So if you are wise, you will follow those instructions. But when you're not, when you have the synagogue of Satan, you're going to do what's totally opposite. Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus chapter 10 verse 2, as the judge of the people, Salakia, as the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers, and what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. So the ones that write the laws and the ones starting up top, when you start with the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers and things like that, you know, that trickles down. You know, you have Brandon that's in office right now. Look whom he hires, you know, a bunch of, you know, I'll just say strange folk. You know, the Rainbow Coalition, you know. And that's the reason why they, you know, use their mouth upon, you know, these little boys, because that's what they believe that they get their power from. You know, you have adrenochrome and things like that. But last precept I had, Romans chapter 1 verse 26. For this cause Yahweh Bashem Yahweh power gave them up unto vile affections, for even their woman did change the natural use into that which is against nature. So these are the ones who are pushing that, you know, the opposite agenda. I said agenda. Yeah, but yeah, they pushing the opposite gender, meaning, you know, you can transform into another gender, or if you feel like you are of the other gender, then you can identify as that. Well, that's vile. Matter of fact, let me look that up in the etymology. Vile, etymology online, late 13th century. Morally repugnant. Let me look up repugnant. Also in the etymology, repugnant. Early 15th century. Hostile, opposed. They are opposed to these scriptures. They're morally opposed, contrary, inconsistent. They don't follow the law, statutes, and commandments. They're inconsistent. With a kosher pig, you're not supposed to eat the swine. You're not supposed to touch it, nor are you supposed to sell it to your people. Contradictory. Everything they do is contradictory to the scriptures. Come on now. If you can't see it by now, then I don't know what to tell you. To resist, they do resist the law, statutes, and commandments. But on the flip side, they follow, you know, what the Lord Yahweh Bashem Al-Shah created them to do, and that is to be resisted. So it's not like they're going off. They just doing what Satan was created to do. Fight back, oppose, disagree, be incompatible. So yeah, everything, that's what they do. According to the scriptures, they fight back. They oppose the scriptures. They don't want us to follow the law, statutes, and commandments. They don't want us to know who our heritage, you know, who our Lord and Savior is. They won't give the real name. They'll say, you know, we found a stone that says Yahweh or Yahuwah, you know, things like that, just to keep our people in a confused state. But going back to vile, morally flawed, corrupt, wicked, of no value, of inferior quality, disgusting. This is disgusting. It's foul. That's the next word. It's foul. Like what they're doing is disgusting. That's foul, ugly, degrading, humiliating. Yeah, it's humiliating to have babies with STIs or STDs, you know, sexually transmitted infections or sexually transmitted diseases. They're not even of age to be, you know, performing intercourse anyway. Of low estate, without worldly honor or esteem. Like, come on now. Shameful, dishonorable, low born. They're the basis of men. Cheap, ugly, hideous. They're definitely ugly and hideous people. But they make themselves to be the face of beauty. We all know the most attractive people are the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, even in our low state. But even in our low state, we're not lower than the basis of men, which is you self-proclaimed white people, you Edomites. You know, go back to Esau, Edom, cheap, worthless, base, common, and that's pretty much about it on that. But you know, the Lord, you know, He does ultimately give you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans over to your affections, because it's like we read in Sirach, you want to follow, you know, your leader. So therefore, you do the same things that he do, because you feel like if he's pushing it and it's his law, then it's all right. But that's going to ultimately lead you to be sent to the spirit world. Romans 1:27. And likewise, also men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in their lust one toward another, men with men, working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error, which was meat. So you got these grown men, you know, defiling these young men, you know, these babies before they even of age. You know, you're not supposed to do that at all. That's against the scriptures. And with that, you know, you should be sent to the spirit world. You know, you should be punished for that. But ultimately, they will be punished when Yahweh Shah comes back. You know, He deliver us. You know, Lord willing, we have that hopeful elect, that hopeful number. You know, the 12,000 men from the 12 tribes of Israel, and then the rest of the 1/3, which would be the men, women, and children. You know, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and those that look like the other heathen nations. You know, that resonate with this word. But Lord willing, things will be restored. Order will be restored soon. So with that, I'm going to close out. Call Halayim La, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles, the elders of Great Millstone. That's GMS. Peace and blessings to the Akim and a few Akwat across the four winds. Shalom and a Baal Babal.